Matt,
you're fired.
what did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. It's fucking trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
So follow a simp account.
okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking. This is
we actually
networking.
follow
you got
it was a business decision.
It's a business. You have to follow these people. This is like following. If you want a stan account, you got to follow the other stans. And when you get big, you get rid of them. You get rid of them after that. It's over with.
I open up our Instagram and the first thing I see is Pro Wrestling Simp, and I'm like, what is this?
I don't look at that. I don't look at that stuff.
Decision.
It's a business decision because that guy promotes us, and then when we don't need him anymore, we toss him aside. That's what happens.
Yeah, well, we got go fucking slap it on a t-shirt and continue to use the move forehead.
Pretty.
This guy just say fucking forehead.
What?
This guy say forehead.
You
Yes, I
did.
did.
You think I fucking wouldn't catch that? You think nobody on this program would catch that? But I did. For weird.
You almost didn't.
For weird.
Let's be honest, you almost didn't.
Weird champ. Weird champ. This is what we resort to here.
All right, next up.
Unbelievable. Five head.
Next
Poggers.
up, we have.
Why people happy? Pagu. Weird champ. For weird. Forehead.
Oh god.
Franker faces.
Oh.
Wowie. Why people sad. What else?
Look at how red my face is.
What else we got? Let me go on Twitch right quick. Okay.
Why?
Why do people happy?
Keck.
W, LOL W,
Oh.
XQCL.
All right. The Acclaimed promo now. We were backstage.
Okay.
They're just like, yo, it's not gonna be a triple. It's not gonna be a normal.
No, dude, we're gonna do a fatal 4-way. Poggers, bro. Thanks for the fucking bits.
Fucking damn it! Jump off a roof.
Well, they just lost Gunther, so I don't know how that is gonna survive. But what's it called? But the Third Reich faction. That's the Imperium's gonna turn to the Third Reich now. But he posted a picture on Twitter with Sean Dean. He's got his castle. It says justice on it. and then somebody says Hook is some fucking girl says on Twitter, Hook is what? Stokely, I hate your ball ass so much. And then Big Stoke on Twitter goes, wow, Hook will pay for his crimes. It was confirmed that there was a forearm fracture which required a cast. I am distraught. I rolled dice with my left hand, so I'm please don't make me sue this company, Tony Khan. Please, you know that a portrait of your father that's hanging in your office? Well, once I own this company, I'm replacing it with a big-ass photo of James Brown. Yep. Every time you see the Godfather of Soul sweating in a drug-fueled rage at the Apollo, you're gonna think of me. Sounds pretty miserable, bro. Do the right thing. Punish this little bastard Hook and write me a fat check. By the way, here's a photo of me with my best friend Al Sharpton. It means absolutely nothing, by the way. Blushing face. But somebody tweeted, he tweeted, Hook is a piece of shit. And then somebody tweeted this. Some woman, I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every I dated a 5'8" guy who taunt every jacked. 6'3" bro he met until they pulled their first back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on. I'm a little guy. I'm just a little guy. No, it's just also my birthday. I'm a birthday boy. It somehow always worked. And then Stokely just quote tweets it. Fuck you. Tony Brown, but who the fuck's in the background? It's Hook. It's fucking Hook. And then he's getting twerked on by some fucking broad. My T-shirt money is now in the ass crack of some fucking stripper. So thanks, Hook. But I don't. But Jesus Christ, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Clip it. Oh
But
hey, it worked out in the long run.
I actually do hope they make another season actually, because I would love to see the American Dragon on Total Bellas start memeing on John Laurinaitis. You have live footage of John Laurinaitis in his living room calling somebody in his underwear saying, "Hey, bud, you fired."
What did Max Caster say about me?
Like I'm embarrassed the fact that I'm hosting a post show for this crap.
I'm proud of you, Carl. I love this.
We did our Valentine's Day post of Hooked on You, but it was mainly for Jamie Hayter and only Jamie Hayter.
It's not right. It's not right. I'm trying to build an account and we get this bullshit on the account. Great. But
So follow a simp account.
okay. Okay, but here's the thing, because those people, this is networking. This is
We
easy
actually
networking.
follow.
You got
simp account.
It was a business decision.
It's Wednesday, guys. You know what that means. It is time for your weekly dose of the Pro Wrestling Injection right here on the Pro Wrestling Injection YouTube and Twitch. As always, I'm here joined by my illustrious panel of co-hosts. We have Mr. Marathon himself, Mike, and then down below, the goon, Christian. It's been a long week, it feels like. Way too long of a week. But without further ado, we're going to kick it over to Christian with the news that we have to cover.
Yeah, so basically it was a shorter news week, but what we got was pretty big. So first off, just talking about what happened yesterday. We had the announcement that WWE Raw is going to be moving to Netflix in 2025, and we were talking about this a couple months ago, and I hit the nail right on the head, just the wrong streaming platform. That Raw would have WWE would have a presence on every type of broadcasting genre. I mean, streaming, cable television, and fucking just national broadcast television. But yeah, so Raw will be moving to Netflix for subs. They had Nick Khan and The Rock and Triple H on all the press junkets. Nick Khan was on the Pat McAfee show talking about it. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised at all.
Isn't Raw also going to go ad-free now too on Netflix?
Well, if you pay for the
that
no
ad-free
tier. If you pay, so it's basically like Peacock, because if you pay for like the regular Peacock, you get ads. But if you pay for the no ads Peacock, like they'll run a video package during like the pay-per-views. So that'll probably be the case when it comes to Raw. But yeah, that's big. It's not something you're gonna have to worry about until a year from now. But I mean, this is a big time thing. This is gonna be the first professional wrestling or sports entertainment pro wrestling product on a streaming service such as Netflix. Obviously, there's like New Japan World.
First they were
and
live.
all that stuff. Well, I'm like there's New Japan World and Fight and all that stuff, but a major company with a major streaming platform like Netflix, this will be the first one.
Well, don't forget who paved the way for them to get there. Lucha Underground was on Netflix for like a cup of coffee.
Well, they put it on Netflix after it was over with. So, but as a live televised product, I mean, this is going to be the first one. So this is going to be like a trial in many ways to see how it ends. See how it ends up. I mean, as we mentioned a couple months ago, like when we talked about Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime Video, and then they just had the Miami Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs playoff game on Peacock. So this is something that brands are looking to do more of, exclusive stuff on streaming platforms. So I only expect this to increase over the years. So
it's not something you're gonna have really all the information on now. You're not gonna really see everything or like hear about it until later on in the year. But listen, it's a big deal, and we'll see how it plays out.
I think now it's high time for AEW to start pushing pedal to the metal on HBO
Well,
Max
well, they're gonna end up on HBO Max after the what's it called, the deal is finished with, probably the rights agreement, because they're probably gonna. I mean, I don't have any doubt that they're gonna get a new deal,
now.
just the
And
way
neither do I, but I think now it's
Warner
high
Bros.
time for
Discovery.
them to
Well,
start really pushing
that,
for it.
well, I mean, that's not there up to them. Um, it's they kind of have to wait until the company wants to do that. Also, uh, you're not gonna be having Dynamite. Well, I don't think you'll have Dynamite streamed live
Oh no, I'm not
on.
talking about that. I'm just
Yeah.
talking like you just like since now like HBO Max has fully integrated Bleacher Report Sports into their service now with the basketball games, some of the hockey games. I think it's like I'm not saying for them to live stream it, but I think it's about time for them to start really pushing for them to get it going a lot faster now.
I mean, they can't really do that yet. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
'Cause
no, but I'm saying
they
it's
have
like
to wait for
as
the
far
rights
as we know,
agreement.
like Tony Khan and the rest of AEW could be pushing
Yeah,
Warner
but they
Brothers
can't push. They
Discovery.
can't push anything though. That's the thing. They just have to keep doing what they're doing because they're gonna
Well, no,
have. I mean,
as in like
they can't
push
go.
for this to start being a thing now for them to be on HBO Max.
I mean, I think they've been trying to do that for. I mean, Tony gets asked about it every scrum. I
When
mean,
is the TV contract for AEW up again? Do you guys remember?
Soonish, I would believe.
yeah, it's sometimes too, but that's the thing. Even if they did make a deal, they're gonna announce it at their upfronts that they do. Like Disney does their upfronts, uh, Warner Brothers Discovery does their upfronts. They're gonna announce it there, just like how last year when they announced Collision at the Warner Brothers Discovery upfronts. I mean, even if they did a deal, say if they did a deal tomorrow, I mean, the word will leak out, but they'll announce it at the upfront. So it's not something like they could say, hey, Tony can go to them and say, hey, can we get a new deal now? It's like, no. You keep doing what you're doing, you please your corporate overlords, and they'll give you the deal when they need you to. It's the same shit that Fox just did with WWE. But on the other end of the stick, they're not giving them the money because they're not going to be. I mean, they don't need them anymore. So it's something like that. And same thing with USA Network and Raw. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I mean, I don't know when that deal is up, but I mean, they're gonna get more money. So,
Oh yeah,
anyway,
dude. Raw just signed a deal for $500 million a year. AEW is getting a new television deal. That's not up for discussion.
With them moving to mainly with just Raw moving to Netflix, are they gonna now have to start thinking about pulling out of Peacock? Or do they have
No.
like a set
No.
deal with Peacock forever?
Well, they have the deal with Peacock is the whole library and pay-per-views.
I think they might, depending on how this deal goes with Netflix, they might.
Well, they paid for the library, and I believe that was a
like
5-year deal, 5 or 10-year deal.
How long ago did the Peacock stuff started?
That was like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago, I believe.
I didn't even think about that, Zach. Good
Just because
question.
another platform doesn't mean anything.
No, I'm
like
saying, but down the line, it's going to be heavily considered.
Maybe, but that's going to be a very different world.
I know, but
like
it all depends on how this deal works.
Just like Thursday Night Football. I mean, Thursday Night Football is on what? There's the Amazon Prime Video, and they just had the playoff game on Peacock. Raw will be on Netflix, and then the pay-per-views will be on Peacock with the rest of the library and all the exclusive shit. So I mean,
wait, I kind of have a follow-up question to Zach. So Netflix is going to be obviously getting the live TV rights for Raw.
Yes.
Wouldn't there be a conflict of interest there if every Raw starting in 2025 would also be on Peacock for the library? Because if I was Netflix, I would be...
Just a real quick, the deal with WWE and Peacock lasts until 2026.
Okay,
So there's
what
like
the-
2 more
five-
years
5
left
years, yeah.
on their
Gotcha.
deal. So pending, like, so, but say though this.
Yeah, that wouldn't make much sense.
No, because I'm just saying, like, because if I'm Netflix, I'm spending all this money for the TV rights deal, and I'm all of a sudden just going to be
Sharing it
letting.
with Peacock.
Are they sharing it?
I said
No,
I think
no.
towards.
No, I'm
They
depending
saying
on
wouldn't do
how-
that wouldn't make sense. You're right.
depending on how
Yeah.
this, depending on how the
Okay.
deal with Netflix goes, when 2026 comes around, there's gonna be a lot of.
See, that's the thing. I highly doubt that because this is. I mean, they paid for the library. Netflix would have to pay for the library and the pay-per-view rights.
They
That's a
have the
whole
money.
different animal. I mean,
They're
they
also
do.
$14
do have the
million
money.
in debt right now. Excuse me,
They
$14
do have the
billion
money,
in debt.
but that's the thing about Netflix too. It's like when I look on Netflix isn't really built like how a Peacock or an HBO Max is. It's like a bunch of shit. Like there's no tabs for here's the WWE network of stuff. I mean, they don't really have shit like that. But it's I mean, I think it's probably just gonna stay on Peacock for the time being. When they do it, whatever. But
I mean, I'm like solely referring to like every Raw that is going to happen in 2025. Since you just said the Peacock deal with them ends in 2026. Like if I'm
Yeah.
Netflix, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're not putting these Raws on Peacock
Yeah, that Raw
because
ain't going
we
on
own
Peacock.
Yeah,
the
'cause we
Peacock,
own the rights.
Like Raw eventually gets added to Peacock about a month after
Eventually,
they
yeah.
air. Yeah, about a month after they air. So it's not like, I mean, they're taking anything. I mean, nobody really watches Raw on Peacock anyway, unless you fucking are really behind or you want to go back and watch something. But I mean, I guess that's just really how it's gonna be right now. But we'll see how it works. I mean, this is a 2025 deal. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
we'll be back on
it's-
this.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
like
while-
with
it's a
this
ways away.
article I pulled up saying like one, like, with WWE's deal with Peacock lasts until 2026, meaning that Peacock will remain WWE's home for premium live events and legacy content for the foreseeable future. But the question then is, what happens after 2026? With the gears already in motion for Netflix, the destination for WWE overseas, it's only logical to assume that the two companies will do that. Because yeah, that's another strong thing to mention, that like Peacock isn't everywhere. Peacock is like, I think as of right now,
it's like
it's
the
just
UK still,
US and Canada.
the UK still has the WWE network. I mean,
What?
like, yeah, no, a bunch of countries still have the WWE network. Actually, as well, I forgot what country it is, but there is a country like WWE has done business with Disney. Like, I think the WWE network is on Disney Plus in like some country. It's there. I mean, they have some. I know they did a deal with Disney Plus to have it on the WWE network on there in some country. I forgot which one though.
I'm looking at it right
But yeah, it's not like, I mean, it varies from country to country.
now. In the Philippines and Indonesia.
Philippines, that's what it was. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, that's not really rattling any cages.
But it's
either.
like with Netflix being pretty much in every single home across the world, it would be wise to think of striking a deal with them to get their library. Being honest.
Maybe. I mean, Netflix would have to change the way they operate. That's why I'm
Oh
coming
yeah, of
from
course.
here.
That's the main, and even
Which
if
I
you,
doubt would happen because they are losing money.
if you look at this on the
Yeah,
bright
so-
side too, with them going, if they go to Netflix, WWE studios can boot back up and produce garbage movies.
Yeah, all right.
Under the Netflix
So-
way.
Aaron, you know that.
All right, so question, because Christian, you brought it up, and I Googled this before, like right before we started. They are losing money. They're $14.3 billion in debt at the moment. My question is, how does a streaming service that has apparently, according to Google, 260 million subscribers, $14 billion in debt?
Password sharing. And they
Yeah,
and
very good.
also
Even with but still 260 million
got-
subscribers,
so-
you shouldn't be in any debt.
you got password sharing. Either movies fall through, movies don't succeed as well on their platform and don't bring in the money for them. You got people leaving their subscriptions as well, and I believe you could buy like Netflix cards, so they don't get the full brunt of that money as well. And if
But
you subscribe on your phone, say like you boot up Netflix and you have it set up with Apple Pay, Apple takes 30% of that cut for every monthly.
Damn. All right.
That's
but
just
anyway,
the small fun facts.
that was the big news of yesterday. But the big news came last Thursday, and this was quite shocking. I was fucking stunned when I heard this news. It was something that came out of left field. Even though we heard rumors, we heard a bunch of things, and I mean that was before Tanahashi took office as the new president. But that was, I mean, that shit fucking took me by surprise because I didn't think it would happen after Tanahashi. But this is the biggest news of the year so far, in wrestling, and that news is that Kazuchika Okada is going to be leaving New Japan at the end of his contract, which will be January 31st. I'll read the press release here that they put out. And just fun fact, if you ever see a press release from New Japan Pro Wrestling with the black and white lion mark logo, that means it's a dead serious, non-kayfabe, real post. If they post the colored one, sometimes it's kayfabe, or like match cards or whatever. But anyway, here's the press release. They had, "Thank you for supporting New Japan Pro Wrestling. Kazuchika Okada will be leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling after the conclusion of his contract on January 31st, 2024. We apologize to fans for the abrupt nature of this announcement, but join them in wishing Okada the very best in his future." Just stopping right there. The reason it was so abrupt is because he did notify them that day that he was leaving. But continuing, as the New Beginning series begins this weekend, Okada will appear on the February dates on February 11th in Osaka and February 23rd and 24th in Sapporo. Changes will be made to the forthcoming cards with an announcement to follow. We appreciate your understanding and continued support. Kazuchika Okada had a statement. He said, "I have nothing but gratitude for having been a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling since 2007. And for New Japan bringing me in from a 19-year-old kid off a plane in Mexico to the rainmaker I am today. Thank you to the best of companies in New Japan Pro Wrestling, to the best of the opponents, and that I've been able to face here, and to the best of fans that have cheered and booed throughout the years. I promise to make it rain in every match I have left, so keep watching." So he said that. Then they made some card changes to the New Beginning show. Today was actually one of his final matches it was his final match in Korakuen Hall. It was that he's still part of the Never Six-Man Champions. It was him, Tanahashi, and Ishii. They wrestled TMDK and they fucking won, which was the funniest part. Like, this motherfucker ain't putting nobody over on his way out. But on what is it? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. At New Beginning, on February 11th, he will be having his last ever match in New Japan. Well, not last ever, maybe, but his last match in New Japan against Hiroshi Tanahashi, which is what brought this company into the golden age that it did. That's probably his greatest rival, not named Kenny Omega or Will Ospreay or Jay White or Kota Ibushi or Tetsuya Naito, but the story of Okada and the start of the Rainmaker comes with Tanahashi. So I think this is the best opponent. I mean, he was supposed to be in some just regular match on the card, but they changed it to be Tanahashi versus Okada one last time. And knowing the health of Tanahashi and where Tanahashi is in his career, this probably will be the one last time, which is going to be a very sad show to see. But that's going to be on February 11th.
Super Bowl.
But yes, that's right. But this is a very, very shocking thing. Just staying on the topic of guys leaving, Tama Tonga just had his final New Japan match. He lost the Never Openweight Championship to Evil, and he said his goodbyes. Will Ospreay at the New Beginning will be having his final match in a 10-man tag match, cage match, actually, the first cage match in like 20 something some odd years in New Japan, against the United Empire versus the Bullet Club War Dogs. But yeah, so Osprey, so that's three guys, three heavy hitters gone at once. Okada, Osprey, and Tamatonga, and you just lost Jay White not even a year ago. So this is a very, very crucial time in New Japan's future. You have Okada leaving, which we're gonna get back to him in a second, but just staying on New Japan here. You have Master Wato, he's out. He just tore his ACL. But you have a young core of guys that you could build upon. This is catastrophic for New Japan, and that's not. I'm not even sugarcoating that. This is a catastrophic loss for New Japan. This is basically, if you don't know Okada that much, basically the equivalent of WWE losing Roman Reigns or John Cena in his peak to AEW or New Japan.
Well, you could
This
also,
is like AEW losing Kenny Omega or MJF to WWE.
you
This
could
is
also,
what
like, compare it to, like, even like for people who aren't fully familiar with names that, like, you just mentioned outside of the WWE realm. It's the equivalent of when Perry Saturn, Benoit, and Guerrero appeared on WWE television after their WCW contract.
Well, I wouldn't even say that. I think that's a lot tamer than what this is, because even if you want to go back then, this is like losing Sting. This is like WCW losing Sting or Goldberg.
True.
That's more of the case here. This is to be honest, it's even worse. Like it's even a worse loss than if WWE lost Roman or Cena, or AEW lost MJF or Kenny, because those companies would be fine without them. They have a core of talent that they could build upon.
Yeah.
This company, this is a guy who's 36 years old, in his prime, who is a legendary Japanese wrestler, probably maybe the greatest Japanese wrestler that's ever lived, one of the greatest wrestlers, period, that's ever lived, and they're losing him. And it's not just him; they're losing Osprey and Tamatonga. In a year where you lost Jay White, and you're at the risk of others following suit, because what a lot of people don't understand about this is that obviously American companies like AEW and WWE are very wealthy and they could pay you, and you're going to make more money in AEW or WWE than you're going to make in New Japan. However, what people aren't talking about is that I researched this as well, but the value of the yen, which is the currency in Japan, is declining. And that's a huge deal for wrestlers who need to make a decision if they want to work for an American company or not. I mean, I think it's probably the same situation that Julia is in right now. And it's a tough situation for Japanese wrestling right now, since you're losing your biggest star. But what New Japan can do here is that they have a young core that they have no choice but to build upon. Okada said it himself in an interview. They have no choice but to build up the next core. And that core is going to come with guys like Yota Tsuji and Yuya Uemura and Shota Umino and Ren Narita, Clark Connors, Gabe Kidd, Francesco Akira, Hanare, Hiroma Takahashi. I mean, Kevin Knight. I mean, they don't have a choice. These guys are the next up. I mean, Tanahashi, his best days are well behind him. He's now the president of the company. Tetsuya Naito is the champion, but I mean, Tetsuya Naito has stated on various occasions that he's got a lot less in front of him than he does behind him. And he's thought about retirement already. You have your biggest foreign star in the company right now is Zack Sabre Jr. Because he's not going to leave, and he hasn't left even during the pandemic. So yeah, it's a tough situation for New Japan right now, very tough. But this is what has to happen. You have to build upon these new guys, and they don't have a choice but to. So it's a very exciting era in New Japan, because you're going to see a lot of newness within the roster and the ranks in New Japan. But it's going to be a very crucial time, because they're losing their golden boy. They're losing one of the greatest wrestlers ever, ×2, with Ospreay leaving as well. And you're losing a great mid-card guy in Tama Tonga. So you're going to see a shakeup of the card. I expect to see guys being brought in and signed, because that's something that New Japan really doesn't like to do, is sign guys. So we'll see how this plays out. But moving on to the second part of the Okada news is that where is he going to go? Because there's only 2 options for him to go. Well, 3. There's only 3 options for him to go. Starting with number 1, which is the least likeliest, which is TNA. He just appeared in TNA at their Snake Eyes show. He doesn't hate TNA. However, at this point, I don't think he's going to go to TNA, because I think this is all signs lead to this is a WWE or AEW move. Obviously, AEW and Tony Khan have vested interest in Kazuchika Okada, so let's start there. That match he had against Bryan Danielson and Claudio when he tagged with Orange, that was said to be a trial. He wanted to go there because it was very random that he showed up for that one Dynamite episode. But apparently that was just to see how AEW operates regularly, not in Forbidden Door times when there's basically the entire New Japan rosters over there.
Yeah, because it was in October.
So it was a trial, basically. He's made friends with Bryan. He has like a very good friendship with Bryan Danielson now, which has been said. And he trusts him. Obviously, he has friends there with the Young Bucks and Kenny, Ibushi, a bunch of guys. So that's already a foundation that he knows Tony Khan. He knows how AEW operates. However, WWE could probably, I don't know what WWE is willing to offer him, because apparently AEW has already made him an offer. But there's been reports that Triple H and Shawn Michaels have very, very much interested in signing Kazuchika Okada, and you'd be foolish not to. But is he going? I mean, then there's the other side. Is he going to go to WWE? There's been reports saying that he always wanted to work a WrestleMania match. I mean, would he start in NXT? I already have my opinions on that. I think that would be a terrible decision. I would love to see him work with some guys in NXT, like a Carmelo Hayes or an Ilya Dragunov or a Braun Breaker or Dragon Lee. But he should not be going to no NXT. He knows how to work for television. He's so far above NXT. You're getting, when he steps through the door, if he goes to WWE, he automatically steps through the door and is the best wrestler on the roster, bar none. It's not even a debate or decision. So he would definitely have the AJ Styles treatment, where he would show up and he would be on the main roster and he would be in big spots. And this isn't a guy like Nakamura, because I mean Nakamura came in with heavy fanfare as well. But Nakamura was big in New Japan, but he wasn't Okada big. Okada is so far ahead of what Nakamura was. And and this isn't a thing where, oh, okay, we can put Nakamura here, he could have a little run, then put him in the mid card for the rest. No. This is a talent where you need to treat him like you were treating Roman and how you were treating Gunther. Dominant, undefeated, barely loses, selective in his losses, selective in his angles, selective in his matches. He shouldn't be wrestling often because the guy does have an aura. But this is a very, very, but that's the one thing I want to emphasize here. He's not going to be like how he was in Japan, because Japanese wrestling is very different than American wrestling, and obviously Okada in New Japan was always at the top. Even if he wasn't fighting for the world title, he was always at the top in some sort of regard. And he would always find himself there or challenging for the world title every year, multiple times. That's not going to happen in an American company, because the rotation of top stars within the companies, I mean, it's just very different. So it's going to be a curious thing to see how he's going to do.
Just to, like, throw my 2 cents in at this. Like, playing it from both sides. If he goes to WWE, there is a 95% chance he will have to relocate to America. There's
Florida.
There's a 95% chance of that. The other 5% is WWE is willing to let him stay, which is highly unlikely.
Knowing
thing,
them, yes.
and playing it on both sides. If he goes to AEW, there is now a 75% chance he gets lost in the shuffle of that
Well,
of that,
no.
of that huge roster.
No. See, that's the one thing. If AEW brings Okada in, he's not getting lost in the shuffle at all. Tony Khan, I'm not saying, I mean, he's obviously not a perfect booker, but he's no dummy when it comes to Okada. If he brings in Okada, he's not going to be fucking working matches on Rampage against Matt Sydal. That's not happening. I mean, he even when Okada showed up in AEW already, he's been treated and presented like the hottest shit in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, maybe in a year and a half, 2 years in, you could see something like that happening. But I would never believe Okada would be in the point where he'd be left off. He'd be ready to go and then left off a pay-per-view.
Well,
I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that's going to happen to Ospreay as well.
It's just like I only bring it up because we've seen it happen to guys who were treated like top stars in other places.
Yeah, but there's nobody on the AEW roster besides Kenny and like Kenny, maybe
Swerve.
No, Kenny, Adam Copeland, Kenny. I mean, I'm thinking of the biggest guys they have.
Mox.
Mox, yeah. Kenny, Mox, Copeland, Brian Danielson. Those guys. I even put Adam Cole in there too. Those guys have been presented very well in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And Okada is, you can make a serious argument that Okada is more important to their former company than any of those guys I just named. Even Kenny, even Copeland, even Mox, even Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's out of the realm. It's not like, I mean, people obviously had their criticisms of the booking of Jay White, which I could agree with in some regard, besides after the tournament. But obviously, Jay White was a big name in New Japan, but listen, I can't emphasize this enough. Roman Reigns is probably the only comparison in the wrestling business right now to what Okada is. I mean, they're getting a fucking mega talent, once in a generation talent. And that's the thing what Zach mentioned earlier about relocating. That's another thing. Because if he wants to stay living in Japan, AEW would probably be the place to go for him, because obviously you have Riho, you have Kota Ibushi who still live in Japan. You still have Ospreay and Pac who live in England still, and that's the thing obviously those guys. Obviously, you really just think about them, but Okada's wife is a very, very famous voice actress in Japan.
Her name was trending.
The funny thing is, her name was trending the night the Okada news broke, because her fans were concerned that she was going to leave Japan if he moves to America to wrestle in America, because she is extremely famous. She's a singer. She does lots of voice acting for video games and anime. She's a big deal. They just had a kid last year. So I don't know if he wants to relocate with a kid that young in a foreign country to them. So that would be a big decision. But yeah, this is gonna be a fucking wild odyssey. The best thing about this is that the bidding war of 2024 has jumped from MJF to Will Ospreay to Mercedes Moné, and now it's on Okada. So I thought
shit escalated real quick.
I thought we were gonna have a kayfabe bidding war, and then all of a sudden we have fucking 3 real ones. But anyway, yeah. That's basically the Okada stuff. You're not gonna really hear about any movement until February 11th, because that's when he's gonna have his final match, and that's a clean cut. There's no anything. He could show up anywhere the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're gonna be really in ramp up mode after that date. So you have your Super Bowl, and then you could have your Okada watch afterwards.
Yeah, it's like that.
I'm
When I brought up the relocating, because I would think WWE is willing to do anything to get him, but that's why I threw out like the 5% chance of them forcing him to relocate to Florida, especially if the rumors are true. But there was a rumor killer. But once again, it's still out
Yeah,
in the open.
there was
If he's gonna go
preliminary
to
things
NXT.
yeah, but that was completely preliminary, as well as that Okada met with his mentor Ultimo Dragon, which I mean he helped train him down in Mexico, and every time Okada has a big time thing in his life, he goes to Ultimo Dragon. I mean he said this in his Instagram post, Ultimo Dragon, and Okada told him personally he has not made a decision yet. So I and people close to Okada have said that he hasn't made his decision.
Yeah.
So it's something to look out for. Uh Obviously, as well, if he wants to go to AEW, he'd still have the option to work with New Japan and work New Japan dates if he wants to, selectively. So we'll see. But this is going to be the biggest story in a long time, for the next couple weeks.
Oh, this is one little thing before we dive into the show. I don't know like what interview this was, but Adam Copeland says he is willing to do a G1. Man's gonna die.
Well, he's not doing it because
I
Tony
know.
Khan his ass ain't gonna let him.
He will
I'm gonna
die
pull
if
a
he
page
goes
out
to a
of-
G1. Holy shit.
but we're gonna
Well,
love
I don't
every
know if he
second
would
of it.
die. He'd
We're
be
gonna
all
love
right.
every second of it. Christian, I'm gonna pull a page out of your book right now. Wherever he goes, he goes. If you want to watch him, watch him. If you don't want to watch him, don't watch him.
But I will say this too as well with the G1 this year. Funny you mentioned that this is going to be the most busted open G1
Mhm.
maybe ever. No Okada, no Ospreay, no Jay White, no
No Ibushi.
Tamatanga, no Ibushi. Well, Ibushi wasn't in. Oh, Ibushi and Jay White were in it last year. But this is going to be a busted open fucking G1. So
I think
I already
it's
have
time
my
for New Japan to get some partnerships going. Get that get some TNA guys.
Well, there will be
AEW
TNA guys. There will be TNA and AEW guys in it. I mean, expect the best of the Super Juniors to be loaded up too. And I mean, I fully expect that. But yeah, it's gonna be a crazy time.
So-
Coming up for New Japan.
Oh,
Very
this is
crucial.
also a very, very minor piece of news, but AEW announced this. The rankings are coming back.
Yes.
So, what are your guys' thoughts? Because I'm like,
Cool.
I like them.
I'm in the
when they were
camp
first around.
where I 100% agree. I actually like that they're back because I think it's going to hold Tony more accountable to his booking like it did in early AEW.
See, here's the thing though. But what people aren't realizing about this is that this whole rankings coming back is a vehicle for the Samoa Joe angle. This is the entire thing. It's a device to support the angle, and they showed it tonight. Why is Hangman in a match with Penta? Why is Swerve in a match with Jeff Hardy? To win a match, so when they put the rankings out, who's number 1? Swerve. Who's number 2? Hangman. And then the Cope Open. Who's number 3? Adam Copeland.
It's like
Three-way TNT title match, and then the 2 others you could fucking say that are next. This is all it is.
So, to finish my thought, I was going to say, but I completely understand why they got rid of them in the first place, because 1, a lot of shit went down, and 2, they had seemingly like 15 guys injured, and it would have just been a shit show.
yeah. But
So I can understand both sides here, whether they like it or not.
all right, guys. So surprisingly enough, there was a Dynamite tonight. I have the show notes here.
Oh yeah, there was.
We kick off tonight's show with Samoa Joe promo. Him just overall kind of saying that he beat Hook and anybody who's ready, just get in line. And then Hook's music hits. Joe looks up. There's the hook signal in the sky.
Hook signal.
Actually made me laugh tonight, not gonna lie.
So Hook comes out, says, "Hey, you beat me. You were the better man." Shakes hands, but I will be coming back for you. Then Hook leaves. Joe's still on, still like kind of. He's saying, "Yeah, good. Get to the back of the line where you belong." And then he gets out of the ring, and goes on to commentary. Because we kick off with our opening contest: Hangman Adam Page versus Penta. Good
Low-key
match.
banger. Yeah.
Great match. Yeah, this is a great match. I also want to pay mention to Hook and Samoa Joe. That fucking demo that Hook pulled. I think that's why they brought him out here as well, because Hook fucking drew. That match was a big time draw in the demo. But yeah. So fucking yeah, Penta and Hangman. This was a great match. I mean, this is really all to say. It was a match to get Hangman in the ranking. That's really what this was. Obviously, I just mentioned that, but this was a great match. I mean, this is two fucking work rate guys going in there, fucking each other up. So
Yeah.
I mean, Hangman won with the double buckshot lariat, and then yeah, Samoa Joe was on commentary, and it was cool to hear him on commentary again because I don't think we've heard him on commentary since fucking Poncho Joe at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because
He probably did commentary for a match on Dynamite or Ring of Honor, but fucking like just Poncho Joe, remember that?
You know, I'm not even gonna ask.
What?
Poncho Joe.
Yeah.
He did commentary during the pandemic era of WWE. And when it was raining at WrestleMania during like the first WrestleMania, well, it was like the half crowd WrestleMania. It was raining when they had the rain delay, so he was wearing a poncho.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was Poncho Joe.
Then after that
and then he got fired. He got fired the day after.
Did Hangman grab the mic after this?
Was that the first or second time?
First. He got replaced with McAfee though, so it was all right. And then he came back and won the NXT title, and then he got fired again, and then he's here, so it's all right. Everything worked out.
And now he's the world champion here.
Yeah, see, everything works out.
Not
doing too bad.
He's doing just as good as Vacant apparently.
Listen to me, Vacant on a fucking roll right. Vacant about to be 1/3 of the never open weight 6-man champions if fucking Okada's ass doesn't fucking put anyone over on the way out.
Did Hangman cut a promo after this or no? I'm trying to remember.
Later.
Oh, later.
Okay.
Later.
So after this, we go backstage with Orange Cassidy and Renee. There's going to be a freshly squeezed fatal 4-way on Rampage to decide who will be taking on Orange Cassidy at Collision. We'll get into that.
Yeah, I think this match is bullshit. To be honest, I think it's bullshit. I think the freshly squeezed 4-way should be. Everybody should be forced to have like an orange, and who could peel it the fastest wins the match, and then we'll do something like that. I mean,
what is
it's
this?
like
the BTE title?
It's like the 4 corners match, like with the strap, when you have to hit the 4 corners, but instead you have to fucking peel. You have to go with the 4 corners and peel the oranges. And Vikingo's
what about peeling 4 oranges?
Yeah, but see, look at the heads you got. You got fucking Vikingo jumping from rope to rope. You got fucking the Butcher, who's probably gonna eat the orange. You got Kip Sabian, who's probably gonna fucking stare at the orange, and then you got Commander, who's probably going to sell for the orange. But I mean, we're good. I mean, Renee asked him about Roddy and him challenging him at Revolution for the international title, and Orange basically said, "Okay." I mean, that's fucking 6 weeks away, so. I mean, sure. I guess. I mean, you could have did it last week, but if you wanted 6 weeks, all right. So he's like, yeah. Then he just said that shit. He's like, yeah, all right. I gotta go watch Trent Russell.
But after this, we go to commercial.
Oh wait, can we please not gloss over the fact that Renee and OC acknowledged Wardlow, and Renee just quietly said,
"A lot of meat."
A lot of meat.
Yep.
A lot of meat.
I fucking died.
After this, we went to commercial, then we come back. We got the Young Bucks backstage.
Oh, Jesus. The fucking corporate EVP scumbag middle management fucking assholes. I mean, these guys are walking over here. I mean, these two look like fucking. I mean, it's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting and deplorable the way these two are walking around here. I mean, holy shit. The fucking mustaches on these fucks. I mean, it's disgusting. They look like carny, sleazeball motherfuckers. And I love it.
And
I love it.
they walk up the top flight. Whoa, did you guys just get here? Kind of late. Now we've been here since 1.
Yeah, it's like, where's your credentials? Credentials? You signed us. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And he's looking at the rundown sheet of he's like, oh, look at this banger coming up. And the best part about this is Taz O'Connor is like, dude, what are they talking about? Why are you checking top flight? Y'all just got here. So that was funny. I love this. I mean, pissy, prissy, punk ass young bucks are the best. I mean, complete shitheads. I mean, this is the right way. But yeah. After this, we had Orange Cassidy. We had Trent Beretta versus Wardlow. And I'm glad they're having Wardlow wrestle a real match.
Yes.
Instead of the fucking murder jobs they've had him doing. But yeah, I mean, it's Trent. Trent's a fucking good hand. He's a fucking regular guy on television. He shouldn't be getting jobbed out. So, but obviously Wardlow took basically destroyed him. He brought back his Casualty of War finish, which he
Thank
didn't use
God.
to finish, but he used that, and then he gave him the last ride powerbomb, and pinned Trent Beretta. They got in the ring. The Best Friends in the Undisputed Kingdom, they got in the ring, faced off. And one thing that has kind of flown under the radar as of late, which have been happening in a lot of
Trent's
Orange
attitude.
and Trent's matches, Trent and Orange have kind of been snippy at each other as of late. Like they kind of been like, just kind of chippy, and it's just something to keep an eye on. It's very
Funky
subtle.
Vice versus Chuck and
It's very subtle.
Orange.
I'm about to say that too, because Chuck and Orange left the ring, and then the only people left in the ring were Trent and Rocky. So I don't know if they're gonna do a heel version of Roppongi Vice, and
wouldn't
break
mind
up the
that.
Best Friends, but we'll see. Just to bolster the tag division. But
Remember,
anyway, after
Drake-
this,
Trent used to be a dick.
well, Trent was
Kinda
always
still
a
is.
He still is. Trent's always a fucking
Well,
asshole.
The BTE
Except,
bit.
except when I was in the elevator with him, he was very nice.
The
I
BTE
didn't speak.
bit.
I
That
didn't
guy's
say
a
anything to
dick.
him because I'm not a fucking stupid Mark. But it is what it is.
But, so
I mean, what did he say? That was wrong. He was going to kill Matt's kids. So
but
what's so wrong
no,
about that?
but it was the BTE bit with him and Chuck that they were just dicks the entire time. Back in like
Now I
20s.
remember him saying that.
But what did he say that was so bad? Fuck, I'm gonna kill you guys as kids. That's all he said. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, so Wardlow did
What's
pick
so
up
bad?
the win. After this, we get some main event hype for Adam Copeland taking on fucking Minoru Suzuki.
Yeah, listen, I was watching football because I had a fucking
I was at work.
out of body I had a out of body experience on Saturday. Fucking personal reasons.
Ravens won.
Yeah. So I had to watch it, and I had to watch UFC at Buffalo Wild Wings. And then I look at my phone and I see Minoru Suzuki versus Adam Copeland, and I fucking had to fucking close my phone and open it again and look at him like, what the
And this
fuck?
ain't no Tom's Customs.
Yeah, I'm like, this
graphics.
is fake. I'm like, this is fucking fake.
Because be on note,
I'm like,
Tom's Customs made a graphic for this like a
Bro.
few months ago.
Bro, half the time Tony tweets this shit, I'm like, this is because I have notifications for Tony Khan on because of shit like this, and I'm like, bro, this is fucking fake. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Someone hacked his account.
I've never in my life have even conceived of the thought of this match, and it's happening. So I mean, that's my favorite times when I get Tony tweets. Like I'll never forget the Kenny Vikingo one. I'm like, holy shit. And but anyway.
Yeah, so then after this, we lead into Deonna Purazzo and Toni, Timeless Tony Storm.
Timeless
Tony Storm sit down. I love how they set this up. Half of it was black and white. Half
Yes,
of it
those-
was color.
this was great.
Great touch.
They are
Great
living
touch.
this gimmick, and I'm so happy.
Yeah. I mean, I pity the fans in the arena who didn't get to see the master class
Well, they
of
probably
visual
got to
arts.
see it on like on a small.
Yeah, actually, I can't really ask him anymore because he doesn't work there. Gary, who used to join us for the fucking pay-per-view thing, that's the arena he actually worked at. When he does the hockey DJing, he doesn't work there anymore. But he works in another arena. But I asked him, and he's like, "Are you?" I'm like, "Are you there?" I'm like, "Yeah," because he doesn't work there anymore. But he's like, "Nah, I don't want to drive 4 hours there, because it's a smaller arena."
Yeah.
But yeah, this was such a cool touch. So you got Deonna, and you got fucking Luther, Mariah, and Toni. And Toni starts up, she's like, "Deonna, I heard you were body shamed, and I don't get it because I think you should be shamed on a lot more." I'm like, "Holy shit!" That was funny.
But then it got real. It got personal. Like Deonna mentioning that like what happened to the Tony Storm that slept on mats and I
In the
shared
dojo.
an apartment with.
Yeah, so I mean, if you didn't know, I mean, Toni and Deonna were in Stardom together. Toni lived with Deonna for a period of time. And Toni was talking about how she's gonna beat her up. She's gonna fucking, I don't know. She was gonna complete her. She was gonna eat her.
The tattoo was a nice touch.
Well, yeah, I was getting to that, and Deonna basically said, "I want you to bring out the Tony Storm that I knew, the one that I lived with." I mean, I'm like she trying to bring back backwards hat, fucking face paint, suplex, fucking sports
Very
looking,
weird punk rock intro song.
yeah, race car driver type gear. Tony Storm from back in Stardom in NXT UK. But no, I think she wants her to wrestle like that. But Deanna's like, you think, I don't know, take a look at your ankle. And Deonna shows a tattoo of a fucking duck on her ankle. And then Tony had the exact same ankle duck tattoo. I mean, I thought Deonna had a fucking Edward Scissorhands tattoo that I didn't know about, which Tony does have on her calf. But it's actually a very nice tattoo. It's fucking crazy looking. It's literally just Johnny Depp, the goat. Me too. What? But anyway, they had but yeah, so they had the exact same tattoo on their ankle. So Tony was like, "Oh shit," and she's like, "You know what?" She said, I forgot what she said. She goes like Deonna, and she's pouting, and she said, "You can take your little tattoo," and she said like you could
Shove it up your
like,
butthole.
shove it up your bum hole. And she takes her shoe, she throws it at Deonna. Deonna takes her shoe off, fucking throws it at her.
That shit was funny as fuck.
Yeah. So she took her shoe off and threw it at her. Fucking, she went after Toni. She tried to put her in the Fujiwara armbar. Mariah dragged her out of it. Mariah and Toni ended up escaping, but Luther was on the other end of a big boot. Deonna posed with the title. That was also. I thought this was a great segment. Deonna's been great. Since she came in, I mean, Deonna's one of the best. Yeah, Mariah's gonna have her gonna be wrestling on Collision, so we'll probably have more onto this on Saturday. But yeah, after this, we had Mox cut a promo
saying that the Blackpool Combat Club don't have parties.
Yeah, so he's been teasing that like he's gonna end up feuding with like one of the people of the Blackpool Combat Club, either Claudio or Brian or Yuta, which is fine. Like it's like they've said a bunch of times like they're not gonna like break up and they're not gonna like they want to fight each other. Like it's not like a fucking thing that they hate each other. But I wouldn't be surprised if they like Claudio and Mox have a match soon. But besides that, we had Swerve. And Jeff.
We had Taya.
Oh yes,
doing
Johnny
something.
TV and Taya back. Which I'm actually glad
they were matching.
I'm glad they put them together because the last time I believe they were together was on Lucha Underground. Funnily enough, and they were pretty great together. There, obviously they're married. Taya, she challenged Deonna to a match. I mean, the best part about this is that the shit Johnny was wearing was not as egregious as the shit he was wearing when I walked into the hotel at World's End, and the suit he was wearing, because I walked right past him. What I will say this, that guy is fucking gigantic. He is a lot bigger than he is on TV. It's funny because he was a lot bigger than I thought, and the Powerhouse was a lot smaller than I thought, which was very, very troubling to me. But yeah, this guy had a fucking. I mean, the suit he was wearing, it looked like one of like Matt Hardy's like red and black robes, but it was like pink and shiny and sequins. I'm like, what the fuck? And this time, I'm like, motherfucker, you're in a battle royal tonight. Jesus Christ. But yeah, they challenged. They challenged fucking Deonna to a match, which is funny. I mean, they've been together on Ring of Honor. But they challenged Deonna to a match. Deonna and Taya. I mean, I remember in the pandemic, when TNA had the empty arena shows when Kenny was there, and I was watching TNA Weekly. I mean, I must have seen Deonna versus
Twitch too.
Yeah, I must have seen Deonna versus Taya fucking at least 6 or 7 times. They were the only two women that were at the top of the card at the time, and they wrestled for the title. They wrestled in Mexico. They wrestled everywhere. Like I've seen them wrestle countless times, so it should be very good. They know what they're doing. Those two, so that should be good. That's official for Dynamite next week as well.
And after that, now we have Jeff Hardy taking on Swerve. Jeff has gotten so much better in the ring.
Yeah, he had his best singles match in AEW on Rampage against Darby on Friday.
Yeah, I saw the highlights of that. Like, definitely Jeff has worked on his cardio, it seems.
I still think his best match was the UBS one against Darby.
Oh, that was definitely, but I'm saying like definitely regular singles match without gimmicks and shit. The Darby one last week was great because Darby's gonna bump the fuck out of him for him.
And so is Jeff.
Well, yeah, Jeff, but Darby can mask a lot of what Jeff does because he's Darby's the Jeff Hardy of our times. He's the modern day Jeff. I mean, kids growing up today are gonna look at Darby Allin the same way they looked at Jeff Hardy. I mean, instead of fucking putting the wrist sleeves on, kids are gonna have their face painted. So I mean, that's just how it is.
But I'm happy though that Jeff seems to be doing a lot better in the ring. That's something that
I hope. I mean, they were in fucking Savannah, Georgia, so that was close to North Carolina, so they got a favorable reaction. Him and Matt, which looks like they're gonna be turning heel soon or have like an edge to them. I hope Matt's doing good after the fucking bullshit he's going through right now.
yeah.
But anyway,
he needs to stay off fucking social media for a bit.
Well, I always say that. I'm like, bro, adults, when you have fucking children, just get the fuck off of social media, bro. Just get the fuck off of social media. The kids are gonna. I don't understand how people don't understand that your kids are gonna grow up with more advanced social media than you have, and
which is a scary thought.
At the drop of the dime, whatever you do now is going to be, you probably can have a fucking profile on it whenever your kids grow up. So, and they got a lot of them.
Well, it seems like your mom was a psycho bitch throughout this year. Care to explain that?
Not Maxwell. Maxwell. Listen, they've already named the kids some fucked up shit.
You got Wolfgang, Maxwell.
That's actually pretty cool. Wolfgang, Maxwell, I think they got Bartholomew.
Yeah.
And Eevee, spelled the way of the Pokemon. That was a swing and a miss. No, listen, that child's gonna grow up saying, "I'm a fucking Pokemon, yo."
I respect it.
I don't respect that at all.
Well,
if I was respecting, my name was listen, my name would be Sephiroth.
To be honest, gonna be real.
If your name was Sephiroth, I mean, you'd be like a god, okay?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be some jerk off sitting in a fucking chair doing a podcast.
Gotta be real with you.
About wrestling.
Like, I think the only Hardy daughter of Matt is gonna be just fine because she already has a following thanks to her mother being the gothic baby.
Yeah, but does anybody give a flying fuck about that in 5 years? No.
you'd be surprised.
No. Because when TikTok gets banned,
followings-
no. When TikTok goes down, just like how Vine went down, and just how Musically went down, and then when TikTok goes down, when they have fucking, I don't know what the next one is, fucking Goober down, Goober Talk, or whatever the fuck it's called. Whatever the next app that comes out, and then in the next 5 years, when that one goes down, there's gonna be another motherfucker come out, and then Jacob Sartorius is gonna come back when he's 40 fucking years old, and he's gonna come back to Vine 2. They're gonna put out Vine 2, and they're gonna put out. I mean, when the CCP is gonna be looking into that one too. But listen, little trends are gonna die out. All right, are you still fucking getting stick bugged in 2024? I don't think so. Are you still fucking watching MLG, fucking Dorito, Kool-Aid, fucking Mountain Dew, fucking?
No, because half the people I
Head-
watch have been
headshot-
canceled because
No,
they're pedophiles.
well, exactly. Well, that's, I mean, to each their own. But I mean,
Listen,
I
man.
mean, listen,
half
there's
the people
a
I
lot.
watch are pedophiles now, and I hate it.
That's your fault.
That's not
Um,
my fault. That's their fault.
Yes, it is. No, it's your fault. You chose the wrong people.
No,
Yeah.
the people chose
Yes.
wrong.
No, they didn't. That's why you watch the good guys. Like fucking.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly.
But but it's fucking. I mean, we're waiting on the list. We'll see who's who.
So okay,
what's what?
So Jeff and Swerve had an
You just
amazing
made the
match.
list.
Fuck off. So Jeff and Swerve had an amazing match. Swerve picked up the victory with the Swerve Stomp, and we now go backstage with Renee and Hangman. Renee's talking to Hangman about his win, and he gets interrupted by Swerve saying, "Hey, did you see that out there? See how I did?" And then it's now been made official because it happened during the middle of this. It will be a dealer's choice match between Swerve and Hangman that will be picking at each other's opponents. So this should be pretty fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what's stopping Swerve from choosing fucking Wardlow to fucking wrestle Hangman or some shit, or because if that's what I'd be
Or
doing.
even one of the Gates of Agony as well.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do some shit like that. I fucking listen. I'd fucking hey. You're gonna go. Hey, Hangman, you're gonna go wrestle. Actually, you know what? I would do this. Hey, Wardlow. Not Wardlow. Hey, Swerve. You know who you're gonna wrestle? You're gonna go wrestle Riho.
Those two would have a banger.
You're gonna go wrestle Riho, and you can't do anything to her because you can't do intergender on television. So, you're gonna have to lay down and take the fucking pin. You have to do the job for Riho. That's what you're gonna do, Hangman. What are you gonna do about it?
After that, we now have Thunder Rosa taking on Red Velvet. This match,
I was like,
yeah,
It kind of got
this-
lost.
it couldn't get out of first gear, especially after the
It's
first
not that.
botch.
No.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think-
very-
I don't know about first gear. Maybe.
it's
maybe
very clear
didn't
Rosa
find
still
it
has
here.
Rust and knockoff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I actually, like, she had a good match on Collision.
With Queen
Thunder Rosa
Aminata.
did with Queen Aminata. Let me tell you
That
something
was
about
a
Queen
good
Aminata. She's gotten a lot of reps as of late. She's been on fucking television for about 3-4 weeks straight, and obviously she signed with AEW Tier 0. She's been great, and she is.
Yeah, they got something with her.
Yeah, she looks great in the ring.
Along with
She's very, very good.
along with the bounty hunter guy, I forget his name.
Brian Keith.
Brian
Yeah.
Yeah, he got
Yeah, Black Taurus,
Teal
and Black
Zeros.
Taurus as well, and Black
Yeah.
Taurus, which he might have to actually not be Black Taurus anymore because AAA owns the gimmick and like the look, so he might have to
Fucking
change.
AAA.
Which I can see him still being able to use it since like they're friendly with them
Yeah.
and Vikingo and all that. But anyway,
Thunder Rosa picked
Thunder
up the
Rosa,
win.
she picked up the win with her new finish, and
After
after
this-
this we had Sting and Darby come out, and basically they actually gave a piece of information that I did not know. That Darby said that when Sting, when there was rumblings that Sting was coming to AEW, he was like, "What for?" He thought his career was over. But when he found out, he flew to Sting's house in Texas and rolled around with them, and he told Sting that he still has it. So he asked Sting, "Do you want to go challenge for the World Tag Team titles and retire a champion?" And Sting basically said, "Let's do it." And so that puts what the stuff to bed where we were like, "Oh, who's his opponent's going to be at Revolution?" But they're going to wrestle after this. They have Big Bill and Ricky Starks say they accepted the challenge, but
Well,
they're going to have Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus Sting and Darby Allin in 2 weeks for the World Tag Team Championships. So I fully expect them to win that match.
Yep.
You also can't forget this. We cut backstage and we see the Bucks producing this segment and
That
also
shit was
watching
fucking
the Anaheim
hilarious, bro.
Ducks game.
Producing.
They're also watching
Producing.
the Anaheim Ducks game in the far corner.
I actually did not notice that. How did I not notice that?
I thought you would have picked up on the
I'm
far
sorry.
left.
I was too focused on their fucking facial hair. I'm sorry.
There's a hockey game going on in the far left corner. I'm taking a guess it's Anaheim Ducks going up by the jerseys.
I will let you know in a second as I watch this back after this
Anyway.
fucking ad ends.
But anyway, that match is happening in 2 weeks. I fully expect them to win that match and probably drop the belts to the Young Bucks, which that actually would make a lot of sense. Because with this new dirty EVP gimmick, what's the best thing that they could do? Politic their way to the fucking tag titles again. They can politic
I
their way
already
to
know
the tag
they're
titles
going
again.
to I can't wait for the day they buy back BTE. That's gonna be so funny.
But yeah, they're gonna politic. They're gonna fucking they're gonna jabron their way to the goddamn tag titles again. Complete fucking carnies, these two. And very disgusting actions.
And then
These two.
after this, Starks and Big Bill accept the challenge to fight Sting and Darby Allin next week for the tag team titles.
We also had a Serena Deeb promo
And she's
package
coming back.
that she's gonna be coming back and
Well,
making
that was
her in-ring return.
after the Acclaimed and
This
Mogul
shit.
Embassy match.
Yeah.
But
It was basically that was
they've been airing
a
it since
shorter
World's
version.
End,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
they finally
shorter version.
confirmed that she's going to be returning at Collision this Saturday. So that's pretty cool.
And then we have Acclaimed versus Mogul Embassy. Mike called it. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang shirts are real.
And so so on Collision, Jay and the Guns, they joined the Acclaimed and they crafted the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I hate to burst everyone's fucking bubble, but this is gonna be the pay-per-view match at Revolution. Jay White is a fucking snake, and he's not fucking doing this shit for. He's gonna go there. He's gonna win the trios titles again.
So
At
buy
least
the
give us the
shirts while
shirts.
you can.
At least give us the shirts.
Yeah, so
The shirts are made.
yeah.
They're all
That's
probably
all we
on
needed.
shop already. Hold on.
That's all we needed.
But anyway, yeah. So but yeah, this was just a standard trios match. The Acclaimed won, with the help of Jay White when he stole the chair
shirts
from
are up ready.
away from Bishop Khan.
Nice.
But yeah, this is gonna be the pay-per-view match of Revolution. They're gonna turn on these motherfuckers. I mean, come on, bro. We've been here before with the Acclaimed and the Guns, and obviously Jay White is just a fucking shithead piece of shit. So
Yeah. So Acclaimed versus Mogul Embassy. This was a really fun match.
yeah, after this we had the rundown for Rampage and Collision.
Yeah. And the
first
Acclaimed
off,
won. In case we didn't mention
first
that.
off on Collision, we're gonna be getting Christopher Daniels and Konosuke Takeshita, which that should be very good. We're getting the freshly squeezed four with the Butcher, Vikingo, Kip Sabian, and Commander. We're getting Anna Jay versus Ruby Soho, and we're getting John Moxley versus
Lee Moriarty.
Tiger style.
And
I
on
like that.
Collision, we obviously have the Escape from the Cage elimination trios match between the House of Black, FTR, and Daniel Garcia, which that's going to be very good. We're having Lady Frost versus Mariah May. Mariah's going to have her second match. Serena Deeb is going to have her first match back. We're getting Bryan Danielson versus Yuji Nagata out of fucking nowhere, which that's pretty fucking sweet.
Like, whoa.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right. Like, okay.
I'm
I saw that-
unfortunately gonna have to watch this Monday or Tuesday because I'm gonna be upstate all weekend.
Well, I'm gonna have to watch this after the Rumble.
Yep.
Fucking. So yeah, that man, I have to watch it before fucking Sunday before I have a fucking coronary.
Oh my god. Yeah, let me know how that is.
Listen,
Don't worry.
I know your team hasn't been here in a long time.
Fuck off.
But I don't think you've been alive for it, to be honest. But I mean, I'm very concerned. Not concerned actually, but just very. I haven't been here yet. I haven't been here before. It's gonna be a very, very special day on Sunday.
You guys are going to the Super Bowl. Everyone knows the conspiracy of the
I don't
logo
know.
colors.
Bro, I don't know that. There's no fucking conspiracy. That's
The
bullshit.
script, bro.
It's not scripted.
There's
And-
no conspiracy. The past,
Not
and
according
every
to some people.
single fucking color of
And
the
I got
Super Bowl
I got
logo
news for you. I got news
has
for
had
you.
the
They,
team's primary
they
color.
revealed next ones already, and it's purple and green.
God.
Yeah, it's purple and green.
Dear
So
God.
who's that? There's only two purple teams. Is it gonna be the Jets and the Vikings? No. Yeah, there's no conspiracy there. If we play better than if the Baltimore Ravens play better
hope it's
than the
the case.
Kansas City Chiefs, they will win the game. That's it. There's
Got
no
it. So you'll
curses.
be on
There's no
suicide
patterns.
watch.
There's no shit. I'm gonna be a fucking wild animal on Sunday. And let me tell you something. If we win, they might have to put me on a watch list for the shit I'm about to say to Taylor Swift. They're gonna have to put me. The FBI is gonna be knocking on my door after the hate and verbal vitriol I'm going to be spewing at Taylor Swift and her fans. Oh, I'm gonna be in fucking
Why
jail.
not just shit on the Kansas City
Fuck
fans?
this, I don't know. Fuck that. I don't give a shit about
Here
the
is
fans.
what I'm
He's
gonna
the
say.
face-
Very
She's the face of the fans.
If the Chiefs lose this weekend, here is gonna be my response. These 3 words. Oh, thank God.
Listen, Lamar Jackson. has
That
the
is
chance
gonna
to
be
become
my
Captain
response.
America today. I'm on Sunday. Lamar Jackson is fighting for the fucking. It's like at the end of paper. Actually, that's a spoiler. But like at the end of some video games, when oh my god, everybody you've met, you gotta send them your power. That's what's gonna happen. Watch what Lamar Jackson does on Sunday. You watch. That's my goat right there. That's my fucking goat.
I'll see if I'm available to watch.
Now,
Hopefully. It's time for the main event.
We're getting some other shit on Collision too, but I forgot.
Actually, you mentioned OC versus the winner
oh yeah,
of
That's
the
right.
and that
yeah
was
the Rampage match, and then they announced 3 matches, 2 being on next week's Dynamite. We got Deonna Purazzo versus Taya Valkyrie, as we mentioned earlier, and also Hangman versus Swerve. Excuse me, Hangman and Swerve in separate Dealer's Choice matches. And obviously, they announced 2 weeks from now, Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus Sting and Darby Allin. But the main event of this show was the rated R superstar Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki. Superstar.
Let me tell you something. Just to pay mention to this Cope Open has been fantastic so far.
Pretty good.
He's been working with young guys. He's been working with guys he never thought you'd see him wrestle. He wrestled Griff Garrison. He wrestled who's he's taken a liking to. He wrestled Lee Moriarty. He wrestled Dante Martin on Collision. And then we wrestled Minoru Suzuki in a match that nobody has ever thought they would ever see. Which is pretty crazy that we're in a world that this match could happen. And it was a great match. They had a great hard-hitting match. It was a quick little match. Very, very fun. And I mean, I'm glad this is going to continue because he's going to work his way up the ranks to get another chance at Christian Cage.
Also,
this was
Christian
fantastic.
Cage was there from some undisclosed location. Wherever the fuck that
He was
He was somewhere. But yeah, I mean, this guy
lurking in the shadows.
This guy Copeland's been having his working boots on. So I'm glad this is gonna continue. I mean, we're probably gonna get like at least 6 more weeks of this until the pay-per-view. So I would really love him to see. I'd love to see him wrestle some other guys on the roster. I think this has been a lot of fun, and I think this is something he should continue. Even
It'd be
after
cool.
he's done with Christian, because I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, obviously Copeland doesn't have that many years left. He's even said himself, like maybe 2 years, it might be it. But I would love him to see him get in the ring with as many people as possible. So we'll see.
At the end of
But
the
yeah,
match,
he won.
Yeah,
Yeah, he won with the spear, and then he hit Christian Cage's kill switch for the victory. And after the match, he got on the mic. He said, "Suzuki, shake my hand." The Suzuki growled at him and left. I mean, I wouldn't
he goes,
expect
"I've
anything
never
less.
been hit that hard before in my entire life."
Yeah. So
Suzuki,
and then
respect.
and then he just reminded Christian that he's coming for him, and that's how he went off the air. It was a good show, good matches. Not really anything. It was a building show. Obviously, you're gonna get some of these because you're 6 weeks away from a pay-per-view. But it makes sense. They were building for a midterm show in 2 weeks. Obviously, you have the big tag team title match. But yeah, serviceable stuff on this show. Progressing. It was a progressing storyline show. But yeah, not bad. But yeah, good stuff. Rest of the week.
Wrestler of the week, I'm gonna give it to Adam Copeland. He was rocking the Violent Gentleman Hockey Club jersey today.
I completely forgot the name of that. Thank you. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, they follow me on Instagram, I believe, like a while ago.
Ooh, big time.
You know, Violent Gentlemen, they put out some
No,
good stuff.
they just like this was when like they were small and they were trying to.
Don't.
Promote
This guy's
shit.
big league. This guy's big.
No,
big league.
Violent Gentlemen, they put out some
Yeah,
good stuff.
he's-
Violent
guys-
Gentleman puts out some good stuff.
This guy's big league in us right now.
Listen,
This guy's big league
I
in us
still
right now,
haven't been
Mike.
followed by John Cena yet, and I'm waiting. For
I've
that
been
day.
followed by John Cena.
I couldn't give two shits if a wrestler followed me, but as
Look at
the two of you know, if it happens, you two are probably going to be the first two to know, or the second and third, well,
being
or
followed by
fourth and
John
fifth,
Cena.
depending. I don't care if you're followed by John Cena. Speaking of
followed by
that, I'm gonna
independent
go.
wrestlers, so.
I'm going co-wrestler of the week, the Young Bucks, for that facial hair.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm go with Kazuchika Okada for causing the biggest fucking rift in the wrestling world in a fucking little while. So I'm gonna go with Okada.
All right, guys, that will do it for us. We will catch you next week. I'm also going to be in the middle of moving, so this background might change a bit. It might be a little bit more barren real soon. All right, guys, we appreciate you all, and we will see you next week.